My faithful Dell monitor didn't turn on one morning, and using Dr. Google, I looked for the most likely culprit. The circuit board on the right is the power supply module, and looking for something that was obviously wrong, I found this resistor with a hole burned out in it. Dr. Google also told me that that's usually protecting this capacitor, which you can see has some dark stuff coming out of it. So, what do we do here? Well, I'm going to show you how I took this power supply off and ordered parts, and then you'll see by going backwards how I got to this teardown point. Right here, we're taking off the ground for the connector, and a package from China arrives. How about that? Just had to give somebody $12 and free shipping, and I was sent a power supply. How can they do that for $12 is beyond anybody's guess. Anyway, it looked like it was a new unit, not a refurbished unit. It had all the wires and everything all in there. Again, 12 bucks. Did I mention it was only $12? Making sure that I had all the right parts there and all the wires that were included if I had to save any of the cables, because the cables actually had connectors on both ends. So I'm just going ahead and use the way it's set up with this power supply. So as you see, we already removed the screws, and now I'm removing the clips, the two cables that are attached to the power supply, and removing the tape that holds it down, because that's going to hold it in when I try to remove the whole unit. And here's the other cable that I'm removing. Now I'm going to gently lift the power supply, and did not know at the time, but there's a little alignment tab at the bottom, and I'll point it out right here. I don't think it's important that you have to worry about it. I think it's for when they assemble it, it becomes an issue. And it broke off in there. And there's the hole, you can see right in the middle of it. And there's the little tab that broke off there. I don't know if there's any other way that you could have removed it. So now I'm going to grab the power supply and put it into place. It slides in pretty easily. There's a little retaining clip that I'm going to put right back in there and put all the screws back into place. Attach the cables. Really only one way they can go in, it's not a problem. And put the back on it again. This slides in place pretty easily, and the only thing that's a little tricky is the part that you'll see on the left. There's an open circuit board. There'll be a cap that goes on top of it, but everything else falls back into place pretty easily. And we'll go ahead and put the screws back in. Don't you love that I didn't make you watch me do it in real time? This whole thing took about 25 minutes. And I'll put this in place. Now, you see these little tabs? They're going to go in these little slots right there, and you have to put them in place and then slide it towards the unit, just an eighth of an inch or so. And that holds it in place. And then you put another screw right in there. Now, don't forget the little button that helps you release the stand. You don't want to put any things on there without that button being in there. Now we put the top on it. It slips into place pretty easily, and I'm going to show you the first thing you have to do, which I couldn't really show it and going it backwards, is removing the bezel. It just takes your fingertips and just removing it, just a little bit of a pull right here. It just pulls off like that. Just do that all the way around the bezel, and that releases the back. So I put it on my desk, and here's the point. Aha! And it is going, oh, it worked! It worked! It worked! Yes. Now, if I could do this in 25 minutes, you can do this. $12. Can you believe it?